Alright, how's it going? I'm just going to make a short video continuing to work on this Crusader stick. Nothing interesting. Just taking off some of the material. Trying to decide what to do. I've got an idea what to do with the with some of the carbon that I'm going to put, at least in this area. But carve some of this while it's still green. While it's still green. Shouldn't be carving toward your hands like this, but well. Sometimes when you go the other way, you overdo it, you know. I just swept this floor, so I'm going to be doing it again in a minute. It's got cold again out here. Well, cold enough for me anyway. And it's dark outside. I don't have any lights out there to work with. In the past I have, but currently I don't have any place to work outside at night. So, and I haven't been doing anything where I needed to be outside. I've been painting, but right now I want to also get these. I want to get these walking sticks to a certain point, because if I let them sit, it's going to take time. Time gets by you. It's just like that dinosaur stick. I started that months ago, and haven't gotten very far on it because of the weather. I mean, it has been cold. And I don't have woodworking, I don't have, modern woodworking equipment. If I did, it'd be much faster. What I'm doing now, I'm just getting some of this bark off. I'll do carvings on the oak under here afterwards. I just want to get some of this bark off. I don't tend to take it all off, but these parts of here I've got in my mind to do some writing on there, and so I want to get it down to the oak, and then get it sanded, get nice smooth sanded areas to do that kind of stuff on. So and like I say, this will take almost a year to dry out, so it won't be a beautiful stick for at least a year. I've got to let it dry out before I put any get into the teak oil, the varnish, or whatever else I'm going to put. I keep talking about getting some polyurethane. I'm going to get some of that for some of the other sticks that I do, and possibly, I don't know if I'll use it on this or not. I don't think so, but possibly. That polyurethane is great stuff. But I don't think I'll use it on this. I think teak oil, maybe some varnish once this is completed. Teak oil and varnish will make it look the way I have envisioned it, I think. I will probably get a hand sander or take it out to my belt sander. Hopefully I can get a hand sander. I may have to just sand it by hand, which I don't want to do. After I get this down. Plus, I don't want to go too far with this, with taking this bark off, because I don't intend to take it off all the way down. There's parts I plan to leave it on. I may not. Things may change, you know, and I often do in paintings or woodwork. Things change. Sometimes, just like that painting I did a few months ago, I had started out for it to be one thing and it wound up being something else. It just had its own, seemed like it had its own life. It didn't want to be what I wanted it to be. So it changed, but it still came out to where I wasn't too unhappy with it. And I will leave it alone. I won't go back to it. I thought I was going to go back to it, but that painting but I'll leave it alone. Sometimes you can go too far on things you're working on, you know, and you can ruin it. So that's why it was a painting. I don't know, it's up on this wall here, but it was the one where with Monument Valley, Arizona, and it's the one it's hanging up over here, but I was thinking of going back to it and working on it, but I'm not going to, because I'm halfway satisfied with it now. If I go back, I'll ruin it for myself, at least. Once in a while, I'll get comments on my paintings, especially, of how somebody else wants them to look, you know. Oh, this would look great if you did this. Like, well, no, you know, if you want that, not, you know, I do things my way, and that's what makes them mine, and that's the way you should be if you're doing art or anything else. Do it your way, not the way somebody else wants it. You know, especially art. Especially art. There's a lot of snobs in the art world, and I mean a lot. You know, and I noticed I never had been to school for it until I went to one semester in 2010, and I love that school. It was great. I did one semester, and because of the government wouldn't live up to the wouldn't pay what they said after I had checked it out and everything. Anyway, it's another story, but all I could afford was one semester of it. Great school though. But I found while I was there that, you know, art people, professional, are, a lot of them are snobs, and they have their own insults. I came from the world of combat arms, infantry, and we don't mix words when we're when we're insulting somebody. You know, if we got something to say, we just say it straight out. But in the art world, they do. Their insults are, they'll use the word. I notice that they love, when they want to insult your work, they'll use the word cartoonish. You know, that they'll use that word. They'll try to make it sound like they're paying you a compliment, but what they're doing is insulting your work. You know, when they know very well the piece you're working on is not a cartoon, right? It's not meant to be a cartoon. But they will say, you know, they'll throw that word cartoon in their praise. And that's an insult. They're insulting your work is what they're doing. Yeah. That's really, I found that very frustrating when somebody would say that, you know. And even the professors do that. Yeah, they do it. I didn't know it then, but I know it now, so so my ears are open to it. When I hear somebody say that, you know, it makes me want to start speaking infantry to them. Because in infantry, we don't shroud our dislike. You know, we don't. If an infantryman don't like you, you'll know it. We don't mince words, and we don't pretend. That's what I love about it. Actually, I love that. I love that world because what you see is what you get, you know. What you see is what you get. Yeah, I'm just starting to take stuff off of this. Thought you might want to look in, so later on down the road you can look back and see where we're at. Anyway, we're gonna call this Crusader stick 4. I think it's 4. And we'll catch you later. Thanks.